Hey everybody, this is Afia from No Love Lost 2.0. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? So it is a new year, 2026. So we got to get into some things. We got people on the internet saying they don't give a damn if people got cancer or not. We got people on the internet acting a fool already. We ain't even a whole 30 days into the new year, and here we are. So let's get into it. So recently I just had my wedding. It was very exciting, had a really good time, and I really enjoyed myself. I'm recording this episode out in public, you guys. So if you hear some background noise, I'm gonna try to clean that up for you. So I had all my friends here, some of my closest friends here, and one of my friends had said at my wedding, he had said, Zafir has a lot of best friends. And I said, excuse me, in my head, I didn't want to be rude. But I had to tell him later on, I said, that is not true. A lot of people will come into your life and say you're their best friend, but they're not that back to you. Sometimes it's a one sided situation. And what you have to do is you have to recognize it right away. I have a lot of people in my life who claim to be my best friend, but I always say, if I didn't say it back, it's not reciprocated. If I didn't give the energy back that you gave me, because it's that I can be a positive influence and influential in your life, but that does not mean I need to be your best friend. That is a title that comes with, it comes with a lot. And I always tell people honestly, sometimes I just don't want to take it on, with certain people because I don't feel like I could give the energy that they may need from me due to the fact that I just don't want to. And I had told my friend that, and he was like, "Oh, don't you think that's rude?" I said, "I think that's honest. I think it's honest to tell people that I do not rock with you the way you rock with me, and so that there isn't no confusion, so you don't feel like you were snaked or there was some mistrust. You know that." I set the tone, and how you move is according to the actions that you choose to move. I am not in control of how people choose to react to the behaviors that I display when they're honest. And that's the thing that I thought about. We have to be honest with people to why we feel the way we feel. It doesn't mean we're being rude. It doesn't mean that we don't care about their feelings. It means establishing a boundary so that it's not crossed. So, a lot of my friends was asking, like, "Oh, why wasn't your mom at the wedding?" We don't fuck with each other. It's as simple as that. I can go into every situation that either I did wrong or she did wrong. But what it comes down to is she's not here to defend herself. I don't feel the need to go too depth in it. That's what I had told them. But this is my podcast. So this is where I'm going to go in, and this is where I'm going to talk about how I feel about certain situations or things that occur that I do not care for. And I like to say, you know what? My mom didn't come, but she was invited. My friend, some people had a take on it because my friend was like, "Well, you know what? I'm gonna go see her because I want her to see me in my tux." And she told him, like, "Oh, it would have been different if he invited me instead of asking his brother to invite me." No, it would have not. We have no contact. I don't even know your number, and you, I'm sure, don't know mine. So, with that being said, there is no way for me to sit here and have a conversation with you to invite you. So, I did what I thought was best in the child that you are in communications with on a regular basis, which is my little brother, which I also mentor him and very much involved in his life. I asked him to extend that olive branch. Now, mind you, I only asked him due to the fact that I told you guys before I felt pressured. But the fact that she didn't come didn't bother me. If anything, it solidified that she was not supposed to be there because I had such a positive, great time. And what we have to understand is everybody is not going to be able to enjoy and celebrate with us. And you should not have people in celebrations with you that are really not in contract with respect for you. And that means that they lack boundaries. I feel like it was exactly the way it was supposed to be, and that's why I'm doing this episode to say, do not feel bad for establishing your boundaries. Do not feel bad for not allowing things that do not align with your life to continue to be in your life. It's okay to sit here and say, you know what, you're my mother, but I didn't like that. And if you're not going to change it, we cannot continue this. I refuse to live a life that I am always in pain due to making other people feel comfortable. And like I had told my friend, I said, you going to see my mom on my wedding day, it didn't bother me. I said, but it wasn't the day for that. And I understood why my other friends would jump into the defense and getting upset with him, but I also understood his perspective that this person does not have a mean bone in his body. He is not a mean person. He's not an evil person. He does nothing malicious. Anything he does with love. And that's what I had to explain to people who wanted to protect me from how they felt because it was my mother and they knew the situation. But I had to explain to them, this friend of mine has been my friend for years. He had devised a relationship with my mother outside of me, and he chooses to still be engaged with her. I have no issues with that. I have no qualms with that because that is his right. And we can't expect people to follow lead in anything we say without just cause. I have no actual reason for him to say, for me to tell him, like, oh no, you better not go see my mother, because it doesn't bother me. You have to allow people to be who they are and allow people to show you who they are. Even sometimes if it doesn't align with what you desire, it doesn't mean it's your way or the highway. We can't sit up here and condition other adults to follow suit in what we say as if we're their parents and as if they're children, because that is not the case. We are all our own individuals and we all have to individually walk a path that we choose. So I think that some people felt boundaries were crossed this weekend or this past week. And I felt like, no, all you did is establish to why that is my best friend, to why that person belongs in my life. Because as you try to turn the scales, it taught me that you care about me too. And I wasn't mad at the people who was upset with him because they care about me as well. They love me down, and that's why they're so protective of me. They get where I'm coming from. They get what I've been through with my mother. They get the hurt that I have received from her and the disrespect. And they have their own qualms with their mothers, and they were being protective of me. If anything, I feel like nobody did anything wrong this past week. I had people protecting me. I had somebody that was protecting themselves and feeling like they had the right to choose to do the things that they did, but did not want to disrespect, but did not want to cause issues of pain within my heart. And that is why I celebrate the people who were with me this past weekend, because they showed genuine love, they showed respectful love, and they gave me the respect to be honest with me about how they may have felt, both sides. And I feel like nobody did anything wrong. And that's when you know you genuinely have people in your life that really rock with you and respect for you. Because I always tell people, respect me when I'm not around. Don't just respect me to my face. Be that person that is protective of me even when I'm not there to defend myself. And I feel like they both did a good job. And it really taught me and showed me that I have genuine people around me that love me for me and they know my heart. And like I say, this past weekend was just love. It was just a lot of love. And I am so thankful. And I just want people to remember that we have to allow people to be their individual themselves, even if it doesn't align with us. We have to allow people to be in a space where they don't feel constricted to do as we say, because they are their own individuals. They have their own mindsets. They have the right to choose. And even if it doesn't align with the values and the things that you want, it doesn't mean it's an automatic, oh, they got to get out your life. Sometimes it may seem like that, but you have to sit down and have a conversation and be man or woman enough to sit here and say, this is how I feel. This is how you made me feel. Now, what are we going to do about this? How are we going to not just move on, but how are we going to work through this so that this situation doesn't happen again where I feel either disrespected or dishonored? How do we sit here and move forward in the best way? And if you can do that, then you know that you have now reached a peak in life of peace, realizing that you do not have to allow yourself to be mad or hurt by others' actions, but allow yourself to choose who deserves to have those conversations with you, who you choose to have those relations with in life, and how they can impact your life. And I want you guys to always remember, allow people to be who they are, even if it doesn't align with your values and what you agree upon. Because guess what? It's going to show you that even if it doesn't align, that's a person that can stay in your life or that's the person that you may have to reroute and push down a different path in your life. And sometimes that could be out, or sometimes that could be distance. But don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit that notification bell for No Love Lost 2.0. And don't forget, it's one love. It's 2026, y'all. Make this year about love, respect, and boundaries. Don't let those things be crossed. One love.